Are you tired of memorizing your lecture notes? It's pretty dull, right? How about starting your exam prep with questions instead of answers? With inquiry-based learning, you dive deeper into your course material and discover connections you didn't see before. Find out how questions can transform your learning experience. In this video, I'll show you the 3 principles behind the inquiry-based learning approach, how you can become more active in your study process, and why it leads to better exam results. And now, without further ado, welcome to Shribe. In university, your professor typically spoon-feeds you information during lectures, or you read summaries in books or your notes. That means you're quite passive when taking in information. You can change that with inquiry-based learning. This approach is a method where you actively ask questions and independently seek answers to understand a particular topic. Instead of just memorizing facts, you can be curious and think critically. You discover knowledge and connections based on the questions you ask, not the other way around. In short, it's about letting your curiosity run wild. Inquiry-based learning is based on 3 principles: self-directed learning, critical thinking, and the role of questions. Self-directed learning means you take control of your study process. Your critical thinking is fostered as you learn to question and verify information. And finally, questions are your tool and starting point to discover and understand new things. What are the key differences to traditional study techniques? Like most other students, you probably study with flashcards, or maybe you use past exams. The result is that you become very good at answering those flashcards or mock exams. But it's unlikely that these things will be tested exactly as is in the exam. And when a question comes up that wasn't on your flashcards or in your mock exam, you will struggle. The challenge with unexpected exam questions is that they are new and unfamiliar. You've never seen this kind of question before. Even if your mock questions are similar, these new questions require you to think differently to achieve the best possible grade. These questions are fundamentally about identifying who really understands the material. It's about the ability to grasp multiple concepts simultaneously and discover connections that perhaps weren't directly taught in the lecture. This deeper understanding comes from connecting knowledge. And this is what you practice through inquiry-based learning. It's all about the process. How do things connect? Why are certain facts the way they are? So it's about the why behind the facts. Instead of just memorizing information, you try to connect topics. This aligns with the interleaving method. With interleaving, you switch between different topics while studying instead of focusing on a single topic. Studies show that interleaving is especially effective for problem solving. It also promotes better long-term memory and enhances your ability to flexibly apply what you've learned to new situations. This is exactly what you need to tackle unexpected exam questions and get the best grade. Now, how does this look like in practice? It's all about recognizing connections and understanding that concepts, facts, and details only show their true meaning in comparison to others. Let's take an example. In economics, a single price doesn't tell us much without considering supply and demand. The balance between these forces helps us understand market dynamics and predict trends. In literature, an isolated character description doesn't mean much without understanding their relationships with other characters. The connections and conflicts between characters give stories depth and meaning, making literature richer and more engaging. Understanding relationships gives studying its relevance. Since people tend to remember meaningful things better, these connections help us understand and retain complex topics. Let's consider an analogy in music. In a song, a single note might seem insignificant without the surrounding melody. The way each note harmonizes with the others creates a beautiful tune, which gives the song its character and emotion. The context of each note within the melody and rhythm makes the music coherent and enjoyable. Suddenly all pieces fit together. Instead of hearing isolated notes, you understand how they fit into the larger composition, which gives everything more meaning and solidifies and deepens your knowledge. Before we get to the tips and strategies how you can motivate yourself to dive into inquiry-based learning, please consider to give this video a like and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of this type of content. I've already mentioned several times how important curiosity is. With some topics, it's easy to spark a natural curiosity. Out of genuine interest, more and more questions about the topic come to mind, and you automatically delve deeper into the subject matter. But what if you struggle with certain topics, which, by the way, is completely normal? In this case, you could rely on pre-made questions to better understand connections and their importance. Questions like, why is this concept important? And how is this related to other concepts? Help you dive deeper into the topic. Once you have the answer to one question, move on to the next. What new questions come up now? It's best to write down the answers so you can revisit your thought process later. Linear notes, so writing from left to right or top to bottom, aren't ideal because your thought processes aren't linear. So it's best to start in the middle of a page, for example, and observe how your thoughts develop. You can also go a step further and visualize connections using mind maps. If you're still not convinced, I've got 3 benefits of the inquiry-based learning method to motivate you to give it a try. First, boost for your brain. Inquiry-based learning trains your brain to analyze complex problems and find more creative solutions. You need this not only in your studies, but also in the quote-unquote real world. The earlier you adopt the perspective of inquiry-based learning, the better. 2. Bye-bye boredom. By pursuing your own questions, you incorporate your interests and identity into the study process. When you follow a topic with curiosity, it becomes relevant to you. That's why you can't remember your neighbor's license plate, but you can quote several episodes of Friends. You followed Friends with curiosity, so it was relevant to you, while your neighbor's license plate isn't connected to you at all, and it's pretty irrelevant. 3. Fit for the future. The world needs people who can solve problems, and inquiry-based learning prepares you for that. It teaches you to ask questions, recognize challenges, and find creative solutions. And the best part, it makes you a lifelong learner, always open to new knowledge and experiences. In a world where the ability to adapt, think critically, and continuously learn is priceless.